Your task is to flood their arenas with love. February 17, 2015. Let go of your doubts because you truly know, deep within, that what we tell you is true, that humanity's awakening is imminent. We need to keep publishing and sharing uplifting reminders on this subject because people tend to sink back into doubt as they read and watch what is reported on the mainstream media, which is most depressing. However, the end of that nonsense, that insanity is close. Hang in there and keep reposting our messages freely as many rely on them. All of your loving hearts actively loving and demonstrating love in action are bringing about the essential changes necessary for humanity's well-being on planet Earth. All on Earth are highly honored for the part that each one of them is playing as the illusion crumbles and the veils or mantles hiding reality from you dissolve. There is only one God, the divine source, the benevolent and beneficent creator, the Mother Father God whose field of infinite, endless, and unconditional love envelops you in every moment of your eternal existence, desires that you awaken from your dream, indeed nightmare of separation so that you may delight once more in the entirety of amazing wonders that a state of acknowledged, accepted, and fully experienced oneness provides. The illusion shields you, by means of a very fine cloak, from true awareness of your divinity, your oneness with your source, our source, the only source, in which all exists. You are all forever blessed and cared for, and you can never lose, discard, or separate yourselves from that loving embrace in which you are firmly, gently, and most lovingly held. You are one with the divine, all that is, and nothing that exists can change that everlasting and hallowed relationship. So, I say again, let go of your doubts. They are misplaced because you are one with the divine being who created you as an inseparable part or aspect of himself. Even so, you remain utterly free to create and diversify as he does. You once used that freedom rather unwisely to build the illusion, which was but a momentary aberration on your part. It will shortly dissolve because it is unreal, a game to explore the imagined possibility of something impossible, namely separation from the One. What is unreal is like smoke or mist, ephemeral, easily dispersed. Dispersal or dissolution of the illusion is currently underway, and the evidence of its crumbling foundations can be seen all across the world as people refuse to be controlled and manipulated by those to whom, over the eons, they have given away their power. For a long time, it seemed that you had no choice. Then some courageous ones among you showed you that power over you is only possible when you allow it. Democratic ideas were promulgated, the power of the few was reduced, nation-states were established. Then they too began to accumulate power, power that you gave them in the mistaken but understandable belief that they had your best interests at heart, that you could trust them. Your divine nature is love. In love all is transparent, nothing is hidden, and trust is always honored. You have a saying, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and the truth of that has finally become unmistakably apparent, in fact blindingly obvious to all. You are now in the process of making it clear to those who have effectively been lording it over you that their corruption is plainly visible, and showing them that this inequitable and wrongful state of affairs will no longer be tolerated. Consequently, the organizations, local, national, and international, that have been set up by a powerful but totally corrupt elite to control humanity can no longer be maintained or supported, and the evidence of their imminent collapse is visible everywhere. To free yourselves and humanity at large is your task. Of course you are already free, you have always been free, but that has not appeared to be the case. As you look around, as you view the world, you see that many are effectively enslaved, struggling to survive in a hostile environment, an environment from which others are stealing the very heart and lungs of your beautiful planet. The very energy sources that they mine and waste, with thoughtless irresponsibility and seemingly complete unawareness of the planet's inability to replace what is stolen from her, through the labors of those they control, are not required. There is no necessity for you to mine the planet to provide for your energy needs, because abundant energy is available through wind, wave, and solar sources. You have the technology to develop these resources fully while protecting the land, the sea, and the air on which your human existence on the planet depends. But a small group of powerful men and women have chosen to hide these technologies from you so that they may keep you enslaved while they attempt to enchant you with lies and false promises about making the world a better place for you to live in, all the while continuing in their misguided attempts to maintain and expand their power and wealth. But their power base continues to disintegrate, and as it does, these clean and efficient technologies will be fully developed, far faster than you might imagine is possible, resulting in all your energy requirements being met cleanly, freely, and efficiently. And as that happens, technology to assist in the reversal of the ongoing and unconscionable damage that has been inflicted upon the planet, along with the ability to repair much of that damage, will be unveiled and activated. The new age has dawned, but it has not yet become clearly visible because the smoke of ongoing battles is restricting your view. The present noise and smoke of battles, loud and intrusive as they appear to be, are the last remnants of an older age in which such activities were the norm. That age has passed. The disturbances still occurring are fraught with confusion as opposing sides, teams, players, armies, whatever you wish to call them, struggle to understand their suddenly arising inner feelings of abhorrence at what they are doing to each other as they continue to engage in futile hostilities. They see, at last, that their disagreements cannot be resolved by violent means, something that they have not previously understood, and yet they have immense difficulty in conceiving of a way out of the catastrophic mess in which they realize they are so heavily bogged down. Lack of trust, encouraged and fortified over the eons, is an enormous problem for them. Your task, you the light holders, light bearers, and way showers, is to flood their arenas with love. That is right, you must flood the arenas, the battlefields, the cities, the buildings, the negotiating tables, and the varied representatives who are engaged there, seeking to establish peace, with love. Whenever you sit to pray, contemplate, or meditate, hold the firm intent that those who are negotiating, regardless of their initial inner motives in attending these so-called peace conferences or summit meetings, are absolutely overwhelmed by the power of love. The tsunami of love is, as you are all well aware, an infinite field of divine energy that has been enveloping planet Earth and all her inhabitants for some time now, and its effect on humanity has been growing and intensifying during that time. It cannot be thwarted, avoided, misused, or ignored. It is here to assist you to establish the lasting peace on Earth that you so desperately desire by the intent that each one of you directs. Let go of any remaining fears that you continue to hold hidden in your shadow side, the unconscious depths of your being that you have for eons been afraid to acknowledge. Every human has a shadow side, an unconscious field of feelings and desires that they have been trained to bury and deny. But while buried and denied, that shadow side has power over you, the power of fear. But fear, like all that you have denied and buried, is unreal. Look deeply within and you will see that those denied and hidden urges are just a heap of tiny and insignificant fears that you believed would control you if you acknowledged their existence. When you deny them, they have a habit of arising unexpectedly and seemingly controlling you and your thoughts and behaviors. However, when you allow yourselves to see them and acknowledge them, it very quickly becomes apparent that they have no power. You give them power by refusing to own them, and then you engage in conflict to protect them. That is insane, and modern psychology has become aware of that. Unfortunately, it too has been in fear and has often prescribed drugs to enforce the denial, and apparently provide you with relief. It does not work, because you just have to increase the amount of energy you expend in maintaining that state of denial. Acknowledge your feelings: separation, abandonment, fear, anger, judgment, blame. Feel them without acting on them, and notice that they fade and weaken as a result of your acknowledgement. They are not and can never be permanent because they are unreal states, emotional responses to perceived threats, but nothing real can be threatened. Threats are meaningless expressions of fear projected outwards where they are then perceived as dangerous. Just remind yourselves that you are, each and every one of you without exception, divine beings created for eternal joy and ecstasy, and that when that is not what you are experiencing, you are having a nightmare, and nightmares are but ephemeral misty imaginings that will dissolve with the daylight, the brilliant light of God's eternal day, where you are always present in glory with Him. With so very much love, Saul. Channeled by John Smallman. johnsmallman.wordpress.com